Okay, boys and girls, tonight's homework is 4-3. We are using rounding to help us estimate each product. Now again, the product is the answer when you're multiplying. We take two factors and we multiply them together, we get a product. So today we're just going to estimate. So I'm going to do a couple of them with you and let you do the rest on your own. Number one is 38 times 2. Now remember, it's always easier to go ahead and write it out the vertical way. It just helps a lot to write it out the vertical way. So if we're going to estimate, we're going to round to the nearest place that's to the left. So today, with this problem, that's going to be the tens place. But if we were doing number 7, which is 289 times 7, the number to the farthest left would be the hundreds place. So we're rounding to the nearest place value that's farthest to the left. So on number 1 here, 38, we would round that up to 40. Okay, so 40 times 2. Now this you should be able to do this in your head. We know that 4 times 2 is 8, and then we just add that 0 to the end. So 38 times 2, our estimate is 80. Okay, over here on number 7, 289, we would round that up. 289 is closer to 300. So we're going to round it up to 300 times 7. And you should be able to do this in your head. 7 times 3 is butterfly 21. And since it wasn't 7 times 3, it was 7 times 300. So we want to make sure we add those two zeros to the end. So our estimate is 2,100. Now here's the deal that I made for my class today. If you're not in my class, you have to do whatever your teacher said. But in my class, if you want to do both the estimate and solve the actual problem, where you go through and you say ones to ones, 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So if you want to go through and for each problem do both the estimate and the actual, then you just have to do the practice side. If you want to go through and just do all the estimating and not do the actual problem, then you have to do the practice and the reteach side, both sides of your homework page. So I'm going to let you decide which one you're going to do, whether or not you're going to estimate and do the actual problem or just do the estimating. Okay, let me do one more for you, and then I will let you go on your merry way here. Number 6 we'll do 823 times 3. Now remember, I also want you to show your work. If you do your work on a separate piece of scrap paper, please bring that to school tomorrow because I want to see you showing your work. Okay, so if we were to estimate this one, 823 times 3, 823 would be closer to 800 than it would be to 900. Because again, we are rounding to the place value farthest to the left, which would be the hundreds place. So 800 times 3, all right. 8 times 3, we know that that's king of snakes, 24. But we've got to remember to add those two zeros back at the bottom, back at the end. So 2,400 is our estimate. And if we were to solve the actual problem, we would go ones to ones, which is 3 times 3 is 9. Ones to tens, 3 times 2 is 6. And ones to hundreds, 8 times 3 is king of snakes, 24. So our actual answer was 2,469, which was pretty darn close to our estimate of 2,400 or 2,400. So once again, if you want to do both problems for all the problems on the practice side, then just stick with the practice side. You don't have to do the reteach unless you're a super awesome kid that just likes to do tons of extra work. If you just want to do the estimating part, then you have to do both sides of the worksheet. Good luck, and you guys are going to do awesome. I will see you tomorrow.